Sixers basketball is back, ladies and gentlemen. The fourth quarter just started, and the Boston Celtics have 107. They're up by a bunch of points. I can't even do the math. They're up by so much. Leave a like on the video. It helps out the algorithm. Comment below. Don't comment about the Sixers because this team is very depressing. Let's discuss your favorite cereal. Lucky Charms, personally. But the most annoying thing about the Sixers recently, we get a week off. And then you hear, the players being like, oh, if we get in the playoffs, we going to be a tough out. And then you hear Daryl Morey after the trade deadline, whenever he did that interview, the Cavaliers would be so pissed off to face us in the first round. Why are you saying that? And not only that, the players, saying, oh, we could be a playoff team. And then they come out tonight, no defense, no perimeter defense, give up 3-pointers. What do the Boston Celtics like to do? Shoot 3-pointers. What do the Sixers not do? Guard the 3-point line. And a lot had to do with Joel Embiid because he simply can't move out there. The Sixers are a worse basketball team with Joel Embiid because he's not physically right. In the second quarter, it was put Joel Embiid in the pick and roll. Hopefully we get a switch on him. Or put Joel Embiid in the pick and roll. He's going to be in drop coverage. As long as we screen Quentin Grimes, whoever is guarding the ball, you're going to get a wide open 3-point shot. Joel Embiid, as a 7-footer, had 3 rebounds. 3 rebounds. He can't drive. He can't get off the ground. He can't get up and down the court. The Sixers play at the most embarrassing pace you could ever imagine because they're trying to feed Embiid. Not only is Embiid not right physically, but the Sixers just, amplify that issue by trying to play through him 24/7. And everyone's just watching and standing around. How do you expect anyone to get a rhythm? That's the most annoying thing about the Sixers recently. Because a couple weeks back, this same Boston Celtics team, I think they were missing a couple players, but the Sixers were missing Embiid and Paul George. They nearly beat the Celtics. They were dominating 3 out of 4 quarters. They just kind of let it slip because they had way less talent on the court. You remember that? Justin Edwards was out there. It was a fun game. It was a fun product for a couple games. And then Joel Embiid and Paul George come back. And Tyrese Maxey becomes like the third option. You start out this game, the whole first quarter, Tyrese Maxey just staring down Joel Embiid, passing and standing. If the Sixers want to win like they're telling us, Maxey's got to be the number one option. He's got to be getting downhill consistently. He's got to be taking the most shots. Why is Kelly Oubre getting more shots than Tyrese freaking Maxey? That makes no sense to me. Makes absolutely zero sense to me. Joel Embiid can't even move consistently. Every now and again, his knee just gives out and he falls to the ground when he's driving. And the Sixers are trying to run their whole entire offense through him. Joel Embiid's got to know his place. Nick Nurse got to tell him, yo, you're not right. You want to play. You don't want to get surgery or whatever. Then you should be setting screens, doing the dirty work, not trying to impose your will because you can't physically do that. And it looks good in spurts. Like every now and again, you'll see like a 4 or 5 minute stretch. Like to end that first quarter, it's like, oh, Joel Embiid kind of looks like himself. But it's just like the offense is so slow and stagnant because you're trying to force Joel Embiid basketball when the dude has one knee. He's not who he was last year. He's not who he was in the playoffs, and you're forcing it. That being said, the story of the game is 3-point shooting. First quarter, it felt like the Sixers played a fine first quarter. I wasn't that annoyed. I was like, oh, Boston's just hitting everything. 8 3-pointers for the Boston Celtics in the first quarter. Sixers had 2 3-pointers. Sixers got to guard the 3-point line, especially against the Celtics. Just make them ISO. Make them score at the rim because we know what they like to do. They want to shoot 3-pointers. Second quarter, 7 3-pointers. Peyton Pritchard could not miss. He was stepping back. He was shooting 4-pointers. I'm pretty sure the bench scoring was outrageous. Boston had like 28 bench points, while the Sixers had like 2. 1 3-pointer for the Sixers in the second quarter. So that's the story of the game. That right there ended everything. And obviously, the Sixers got to make more 3-pointers. But you're playing Kelly Oubre. You're playing Kelly Oubre in a lineup with Paul George and Joel Embiid. What did Kelly Oubre shoot? Kelly Oubre shot 6 3-pointers, 1 of 6. And you got Paul George shooting 9 3-pointers. The defense that the Sixers run is, oh my goodness, I'm so scared of someone driving. We're going to collapse on everyone and we're going to give up open 3-pointers because we can't rotate quickly. Well, the Boston Celtics, they can run that defense because they got players like Derek White, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, pretty much everyone besides Porzingis and Al Horford that can rotate quickly if a driver collapses the defense. But they don't got to worry about the Sixers hitting 3-pointers. Paul George, for some reason, can't hit consistently this year. And Kelly Oubre is one of the worst catch-and-shoot 3-point shooters in the entire league. This is homework for Daryl Morey. If you want to be serious about next season, even though it's very unlikely because you're stuck with this injured and washed duo of Paul George and Joel Embiid, you have to get Kelly Oubre in a bench role. And Nick Nurse, he got to stop treating Kelly Oubre like he's little LeBron freaking James. Because no matter what, no matter how Kelly Oubre is playing, he's guaranteed 30 minutes. And a lot has to do with, there not being many other options. But I'm saying for next season, a job for Morey, if you truly believe in this foundation, which I don't know why you would believe in Paul George and Joel Embiid moving forward at this point. But honestly, fans, we're going to have to believe, because who on earth is going to trade for either of them? Nobody. Nobody. It doesn't even matter if we attach picks. Our best scenario is just hope that somehow, some way, we get lucky and they revert back to themselves. But moving forward, next season, Kelly Oubre, if you want to be a serious basketball club, you got to replace him with like a Cam. And I'm fine with bringing him back, but he's got to be in the right role to get the best out of him for a winning basketball team, and that is in the 6-man role or off the bench. Let's look at how the lineups did tonight. So the starting lineups, Maxey, Paul George, Embiid, Kelly Oubre, Quentin Grimes, 100 offensive rating. That's bottom of the league. That would be the worst offensive rating in the league. 118.5 defensive rating. Best lineup for the Sixers, Kelly Oubre, Quentin Grimes, Ricky Council, Yabu, and David Roddy. Yabu arguably has been better than Joel Embiid this season, and the stats also say that the Sixers have a better net rating with Yabu at center. And I think that I think that's just because he can move and he can screen for Tyrese Maxey. He can get out the way. He doesn't demand the ball. I think a big problem with everyone being healthy this year is just too much Joel Embiid ball, and he's not at his peak. It's just messing everything up. Worst lineup. Andre Drummond, of course, he's in the worst lineup. Maxey, Paul George, Oubre, Quentin Grimes. Oh my God, Oubre and Drummond. Oh, 114.3 offensive rating, 187.5 defensive rating. That was in 4 minutes. 4 minutes. That lineup was out there and got destroyed. And yeah, that's basically the lineups that pivotfade.com has. So let me know your thoughts below.